With everyone's attention on the soft market and down economy, it doesn't mean that opportunity doesn't exist. In this interview with Insurance Journal's Andrea Wells at the recent Plus conference in San Francisco, Laura Johnson of Euclid Managers discusses how she feels the technology and manufacturing markets have opened new doors to professional liability coverages, including E&O liability.
Companies across the U.S. are cutting back on expenditures in a way so that they can increase their profitability and or maintain profitability. And therefore, since that, as I mentioned previously, is a rating base, it impacts the companies in terms of premium. And so it's very difficult. Also, a lot of the smaller companies, because they're cutting expenses, are wondering whether they should even keep their professional liability insurance or not, because that is an expense for them. Yeah, there's opportunities in the technology market because at the same time we have the economic woes, we do have an increased sensitivity to privacy issues and security issues. So tech companies that specialize in security and or records management and so forth, we think those will continue to do well, and those would serve as an opportunity for brokers. In the manufacturing arena, it's very interesting. They are now becoming more sensitized to purchasing errors and omissions coverage, because now we're in a different economy in terms of manufacturing where somebody does not make the complete end product, and so there's a chain of manufacturing. And so in that instance, they are requiring from each other errors and omissions coverage for the financial loss. In other words, I make a mistake in the design of my product goes into someone else's product, there's a mistake in it, they can't get their product done. There's no bodily injury or property damage there, so therefore the GL and the product's liability wouldn't handle that risk. And so they are now seeing an increased need for errors and omissions insurance, which we haven't seen in the past, really. Litigation trends, I think they're going to just keep increasing. I mean, especially in particular in the areas of privacy. People, it's in the press, it's in the media, people are very concerned about it. There have been obviously major breaches where people's information was exposed and there's been impact, and we're going to continue to see that. We're also going to continue to see increased litigation in the interactive models, the mobile content and so forth, where you're almost using that as a direct marketing tool, because that is an invasion of privacy depending on if you are being in compliance with regulatory issues. And we're seeing companies that normally don't think they have an exposure being dragged into that litigation, meaning typically it would be the direct marketer and their client who is basically providing the list. But we're also seeing now the platform provider, let's say the tech company, who's allowing you to send that to their cell phone or doing the automatic emails and so forth, they're being tossed into the litigation now as well. Every company should be concerned about that. I mean, there's a lot of laws, there's a lot of sensitivity to it, and people are litigating. And you also have the FTC is an enforcement arm on privacy as well. So any company needs to be concerned about that.
If you had to pin down a risk or an exposure that keeps you awake at night through next year, what would that be?
It keeps me awake at night. They all do, because I care. No, privacy is the biggest issue, I think, especially since we're seeing more class action lawsuits. And it's really more on the direct marketing end, but that type of litigation is very costly. And also, if you lose, very costly as well.